Hey and welcome back to a new video again from Computex, today at the booth from ASUS, where I have the privilege to hold this RTX 5080 Astral Special Edition Doom the Dark Ages in my hands. And that will probably be the only time this is going to happen, because this card is never going to be available. It was once available, 666 pieces, and obviously they were all straight sold out. Today we will check out some other graphics cards that will be available, for example the RTX 5080 in the Noctua Special Edition. Meet the Endorfy RX series, designed to offer great performance and cooling capabilities. With ultra mesh panels, room for up to 8 fans and support for big radiators, the RX 700 and RX 500 keep even the hottest builds cool. The RX 700 fits latest top-of-the-line GPUs, massive coolers and long PSUs with ease. Need something smaller? The RX 500 brings the same airflow design first in a more compact size. Both offer clean cable management, USB-C connectivity and tool-free maintenance. ARGB or stealth, you choose which style suits your build and your style the best. We're straight starting with one of my highlights exhibition-wise from the ASUS booth, and that's this external GPU docking station, which is working with Thunderbolt 5 X 4 lanes. That means it's basically PCIe Gen 5 4 lanes, which equals speed-wise to Gen 3 X16. So finally, we have some sufficient bandwidth that you can actually use even a high-end GPU with not too many losses. There will be a performance loss, obviously a penalty, but it's not as bad as in the past. It is possible to run this card without a 12-volt high-power cable attached due to this tiny adapter that you can see right here. And this tiny adapter goes onto the gold finger that you can see on the bottom of this 5090 in the BTF edition. And now I hope, sincerely, ASUS, that you would start adding this on every single card. You can have like BTF and normal power connector and everything. And you should also partner up with other vendors, because just turn this into a standard. You could plug this into motherboards, and we would not have all this 12-volt high-power drama. I would love if, for example, also MSI or Gigabyte, if they would all just partner up, work together, and have the same kind of standard everywhere. You might know this guy, who is Sasha, working for the ASUS notebook department, and he bought this box full of surprises. Yeah, like, what the hell am I looking at? But this is already interesting, which is a motherboard with a mobile CPU on top. You can see SO-DIMM, so everything is mobile-based, Raptor Lake, but we have a X16 graphics slot. So this can be used for like a hybrid mobile to desktop gaming PC. Interesting. And here we randomly have a tough A14 motherboard. This is crazy, there's almost nothing on it. RTX 5060. And one of the recent AMD mobile CPUs. And that's what you would find in a Zephyrus G14 with a recent Ryzen AI HX CPU that is prepared for liquid metal that is used on there, the reduced liquid metal, and an RTX 5080 mobile. It weighs absolutely nothing. It's insane. There's nothing. Basically nothing in a gaming notebook these days. And this is what would cool the G14 with a 5080. Isn't it crazy how little of surface area and cooling you would need these days to cool a recent AMD CPU plus an RTX 5080? Obviously it's not a desktop 5080, but still, it's absolutely nothing. One interesting aspect is this foam, like a liquid metal barrier, and the nickel-plated copper heatsink. We are working our way up, and we now have AMD Fire Range 9955X3D paired with an RTX 5070 Ti, and here it's now the opposite when it comes to the cooling. So there's liquid metal on the GPU, and there's no liquid metal on the CPU. The main reason for that is the gold plating that is on the CPU, because essentially those chips are the same that are used on desktop CPUs, let's say like on a 9950X3D. It's the same thing, and you have the gold plating for the indium wetting for soldering, and there's an interaction between the gold and the liquid metal, which is why using liquid metal on those chips is a big challenge, unless AMD wants to change the coating on these. So that's why we also see the opposite type of design on the heatsink. We see no coating, like no nickel plating on the CPU side, but nickel plating and this protection foam on the GPU side. Have you ever seen an RTX 5090 this small? No, me neither. But it's also a mobile version, so it's much closer to an RTX 5080 when it comes to especially also the GPU size. And it's obviously also using a lower TDP. We're running only 150 watts here, which is also why this cooling solution is enough for this. This is the card, the PCB, that is sitting inside the XG Mobile, which is the small and mobile external GPU solution from ASUS. The XG Mobile is usually sitting in this box, where we have this tiny 350 gram with 330 watts PSU inside. What I have to highlight though, that this is it's not only the GPU, but it's a full XG Mobile. So that portion right here is the actual GPU, like everything with the memory and the VRM and all that. But the portion in front is also for everything I/O related. So as you can see, we also have an Ethernet port on there, USB-C and everything, and that's actually for that. So technically the only GPU related part is this. Now if you flip it around, this right here would be the power connector, and there would also be an SD card slot right here. And this is how the empty PCB looks like prior to soldering. And I asked, and they told me that I can keep it. That is amazing. And now the craziest one, AMD Strix Halo, which is also an X3D based CPU, but with a very strong GPU in the same package. I think this one will definitely change everything that is mobile related, mini PC related. Definitely looking forward to what we will see with this CPU. Like if you compare it with the normal like X3D close to desktop CPUs, much bigger chips on there. And yeah, as you can see, prepared for the use with liquid metal. One more special thing is this vapor chamber, because first look you might assume that this is nickel plated copper. Turns out only the contact patches are nickel plated copper, and the outer shell is steel, because it gives it more stability and it only moves the heat to where it's necessary to the side, which is again copper. Because for a vapor chamber, you wouldn't need copper on the side. Because similar on a heat pipe, you only need the good thermal transfer on where you're evaporating the liquid and where it condenses again. One of my favorites this year is the 5080 in the Noctua edition. And it's just sad that there is no 5090 in the Noctua edition. I mean, I kind of get why they're doing it, because then, you know, it's not an ASUS design and it would be the best card that is available. But you should still do it. You should still do it. Just partner up with Noctua, and also please bring this out in a 5090 edition. It's a huge card, but I'm pretty sure it will have absolutely great thermals and noise levels at the same time. So much about our quick tour here from ASUS. Thanks for tuning in. Till next time. Bye bye.